Okay, guys, so this is the last video I'm going to put up for the 17-18 year. Short story is we went up 10% from last year. That's keeping in mind, like, I really didn't go out and recruit anybody at all for this class. Like, I didn't go and try to see, oh, who did well in this or that. I kind of let you guys just sign up and just see how things went and just try to train you all the best I could. I applied a lot of new things that I thought would work, and they seemed to work really well. I really wasn't surprised, again, by any of the scores the way they came out. If you were doing everything I asked you to do all year, you had a pretty good chance of hitting in the 4 range, 3 range. If you didn't, if you kind of shut off the gas around Christmas break, you hit the 2 range, and that's just kind of what happened the year before. I'll use that information, that data, to kind of inform the way that I continue to warn my students in my class in the coming years that if you don't do anything, then you're not going to get the score that you want. I really wasn't surprised by basically anybody's score except for maybe one of y'all. But that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're surprised in a good way, sometimes you're surprised in a bad way. 60% is what we got for our passing rate. It's 10% up from last year, and it is, I believe, last year was very competitive for the highest AP environmental science score we'd had at Warren, so this one is quite above and beyond, and I look forward to growing the program more in the coming years. So we did pretty well, and that's why I kind of given this year a wow wow wee wah, because really didn't sometimes have a whole lot to work with in terms of kind of like resources and things like that. So we kind of had to make things up on the fly, had to change things because it was very difficult to get some of y'all to do the work that was required for the class, and it showed when we took our cumulative exams that you weren't coming out on top. And I kind of want you guys to take that as kind of a lesson as you go on to the future. And I've said this to my classes from the previous years, that a failure is only a failure if you choose not to do anything with that information. You know how hard you worked or didn't work this year, and knowing how you'll perform based on how little or how much you work is a very important thing to take with you as you go on to college. If you thought it was just kind of good enough just to kind of get by and try to fight for every little point you could in my class, the truth came out on this exam, and that's something that at the end of the day you're not going to be able to BS it when you go to your college courses. They're not going to care about how you do. Nobody's really going to care about your grade, and that's hopefully something that I was able to get across pretty clearly throughout the year. That I'd give you as much of like a collegiate experience as possible in terms of just you need to get the work done, and there's a lot of personal responsibility that you need to come to the table with in order to do things. That's it. I really hope that you take the lessons from this class and you move forward and you do better. That's really all I can hope for. Here's some data from the person who's in charge of AP scores, who looks at data for the entire, all the AP tests. This is Trevor Packer. He said that environmental science was slightly a decline. We had a slight decline this year compared to the years prior. And I can't really point to a reason why. I thought the FRQs this year were easier than last year. We went over them together on the board. And it's hard, and I saw a lot of AP environmental science teachers on the Facebook page that were complaining about, oh, this test was so hard, my kids didn't get anything right on the FRQ, I think we failed. And then this string of tweets came out, and everybody kind of just started losing their collective crap, going like, oh man, it's so hard, no one would do. And meanwhile, Bayona's Warren Apes went up 10 points this year, so these guys really don't know what they're doing. Okay, so you guys were in good hands this year, and that's good. I don't like to pat myself on the back a whole lot throughout the year, but when we get to this point, this is for those of y'all who passed and did well, this is, you deserve to kind of pat yourselves on the back, because I was pretty tough on y'all. For those of y'all who applied yourselves, I was even tougher. That's the way that it goes. I want the good people to get better, and I want the people that don't want to get better to learn something or get out of the way. That's really what I want. Let's see. So this problem seemed to be pretty tough. 20% got 0 out of 10 points, but we went over this one, and I showed y'all how you could have gotten about 6 points without even having to do math on that one. So that's good. Multiple choice was good, but your FRQs were weak, and that's something that I noticed throughout the year. When we had those little FRQ days, I was like, you guys have to be more specific. If I got at you this year and made you cry because your FRQs were not detailed enough, this is why. The truth will come out here when you have AP teachers like myself who go to these conferences for a week and grade y'all's paper. It's not like a group of aliens from the planet Zebulon that come down and grade our papers. It's teachers like like me. They're teachers like the ones that you've had before in the past. They're just regular teachers. So if I'm telling you that you need to get better, if a teacher's telling you to get better at something and you care to want to get better, you need to listen to that advice. All right, so here's the last string of tweets here that I'm going to leave you with. All right, the reason there aren't more 5s on the AP Environmental Science exam, there's strong multiple choice performance, but generally weak performance on the open-ended questions, blah, blah, blah. Here's a hypothesis from teachers about why environmental science scores are generally lower than other subjects. So this year we had a drop from other subjects, and that's kind of interesting. Students are not taking standard prerequisite high school biology and chemistry classes first. A lot of y'all were taking them concurrently. I really didn't have a problem with that this year. I didn't see y'all, if you were taking chemistry at the same time you were taking APES. I taught this in context, and I never had y'all memorizing polyatomic ions because it's not something that's tested over in APES. So I don't know why some of these high school teachers were thinking that this might be a problem. They also think that they're not focusing on mathematics in college level environmental science class, or there's too much content. I think we covered the content pretty well this year. There really wasn't a lot that, you all really didn't say that there was anything that surprised you on this test, so I don't know if there's too much content. And in terms of mathematics, I hit y'all with mathematics at least once a week, you know, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do in this math. Well, I mean, we knew enough to be able to do well enough on this test and bring our scores up from last year. So that's good. So I'm going to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. I might have more options for people in the future, but please tell your friends if they sign up for the class to listen to what I'm saying and to do what I say, because it'll pay off, right? Some of y'all could have gotten higher scores this year than you did, even those of y'all who passed. I think I could have pulled a few more 3s and 4s out of some of y'all. So don't be lazy at this time of your life. Okay, that's really what you should go away from this your high school experience with. This is not the time of your life to chill and hang back and take your foot off the gas. You know, you're 17, 18, 19 years old. You're about to be. So you really need to make sure that you work as hard as you can at this time of your life right now. This is when it matters. You know, when you start gaining other adult-like responsibilities, kids, marriage, houses, cars, things like that, it's much harder to do your best at the things that you get to do right now. You get to be a full-time student right now. I'm going to challenge y'all not only to do well as a student, but to enjoy it. You know, try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Enjoy the struggle while this is the only thing you really have to worry about. You know, it's a luxury to worry about being a student. So do your best at it. Do your best. Remember, I've used this analogy before that if you at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday night had a kid and they were sick, and you had to take them to a pediatrician, you want to take them to the best pediatrician you could find. You want to find some sort of doctor or pediatrician who was an A+ student through all med school, right? So if you expect that for somebody in service to you, then you need to make sure you take on that responsibility yourself as well. You know, be the best historian you can be the best art historian you can be the best nurse you can be. And that is not just something you decide to do on a day. You can't just decide, oh, I'm going to do my best work tonight. It's being the best at something, or being the best at what you can do it's a lifestyle. You know, it's a series of choices you make over a long period of time. And it's something that you don't gain in a night. It's something you don't lose in a night. So that's something I challenge y'all to do, and I hope you go forward and do the best you can. And just remember that even if you got a 1 in this class for the test, if you want to do better for the people around you and the world around you, just remember this is some of the knowledge from one of the teachers that was a reader for this AP test. Okay. We need to encourage students. That's not it. It's right here. Okay. AP Environmental Science is indisputable value and relevance, right? And he enjoys reading even the kids who got a 1 to look at the answers they got right, because he can see that the kids engaged at some point in the year. This is our planet. This is our world. The day that I'm making this video is a particularly important day to me because Scott Pruitt, of the former head of the EPA, has stepped down today. So hopefully they don't put somebody in like Cthulhu to take over for him. But this could be a good change for the state of affairs in environmental science. So good luck to y'all. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.